أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you all, my dear sisters? Hopefully you all are doing good. Bi'idhnillah, and you are welcome in our new class. Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. So let's start with dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين إلهي آمين. So Alhamdulillah, we were in our Tajweed class, and subhanallah, we have discussed the introduction of Tajweed, and as we know that this is the tool to recite the Quran properly. So in this regard, in our previous classes, we have discussed the Arabic alphabets and their makharij, their the exit points, and you can say their pronunciation. So we have learned before in our previous classes, right? And then we have moved on the different sounds like vowel sounds of regarding these all alphabets, and how can we these haraka give the movement to to these letters, whatever we have learned, right? So we have learned before that there were three basic signs, or you can say that short vowel sounds. There were three we have discussed, like fatha, kasra, and dhamma. There are three short vowel sounds: fatha, kasra, and dhamma. And what is fatha? Fatha is just an oblique line at above the letter. Whenever you will see a line at top of the letter, then this is called fatha. Whenever you will see the line, the oblique line at the bottom of the letter, then it is called kasra. And what is dhamma? Dhamma is a semicircular, you can say the shape of the dhamma is a small circle, and then it's like this, right? So what we have to remember before pronouncing these letters, that as these are short vowel sounds, so we are not allowed to stretch these sounds, these letters, right? Whenever you will find the signs on the Arabic alphabet, then what you have to remember in your mind, then we are not supposed to stretch these letters, okay? And we have to pronounce these letters with a short vowel sound, like short sound, right? And what would be how you will pronounce these three different signs? Like whenever you will get the fatha, as I told you, the fatha is the oblique line at the top of the letter. Whenever you will find an oblique line above the letter, then this is called fatha. And how you will pronounce these letters, it will have a sound at the end, right? Whenever you will write the ba, ma, m-a-a, right? Or you can say m-a-ma, right? So this is you have to, whenever you will see the sign fatha, that is the oblique line above the letter, then what should come in your mind? That, oh, okay, that means this letter has a sound at the end, right? And how you will open your mouth, you can see the position of your lips here, right? While pronouncing fatha. So you have to open your lips, and then you will pronounce this letter, okay? So, or you can say that you have to pronounce this letter with an open mouth, right? And then you can see hamza fatha a, ba fatha ba, ta fatha ta, tha fatha tha, jim fatha ja, ha fatha ha, kha fatha kha, dal fatha da, right? So you can see that we have a sound at the end while pronouncing the sign fatha, okay? So let's move on the next vowel sound. This is called kasra, which you have learned in your last class. So what is kasra? So kasra is an oblique line below the letter, And how you will pronounce this letter, you have to, whenever you will sign, you will see the kasra on any Arabic alphabet. So what should come in your mind that, oh, okay, these letter has a sound of E at the end, right? Like honey, bee, me, we, right? So let's see. Hamza kasra, E, ba kasra, B, ta kasra, T, ta kasra, T, jim kasra, G, ha kasra, Hi, kho kasra, Khi, dal kasra, D. Okay, so E, B, T, C, G, Hi, Khi, D. Okay, so this is the sign of a kasra, and what should be your lips position while pronouncing the sign kasra. Like you can see there's a smiley face, you can say, and your lower lips will go down, and then you will pronounce E, B, T, C, G, He, Khi, D, Z, Ri, Z, C, she, C, we, 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 re, we, fi, qui, ki, li, me, ni, we, he, he. One more thing, you can see the red highlighted letters here, and you definitely have remember that these letters are an awesome letters, right? While you were pronouncing these letters, you have to make sure that your lips will be in semicircular form, and your back of the tongue should be elevated, and you have to make these sounds heavy while pronouncing these letters, while keeping their makhraj in your mind. You will pronounce these letters heavily. But you have to remember one more thing about these letters that are awesome letters, that whenever you will pronounce these letters, the awesome letters with the sign of kasra, then their heaviness will not remain like the original, right? Okay, like you can say that their heaviness will be not that, these letters will not pronounce that heavily as we will pronounce with the sign of fatha or dhamma, right? In kasra, whenever you will find kha, whenever kha has fatha, so you will pronounce it kha. But whenever kha has kasra, then khi. It's heavy, but not that heavy as we are pronouncing kha with fatha. Okay. So just keep that point in your mind that, yeah, we have to make the heavy letters heavy, awesome letters heavy, but their heaviness will not be like exactly like the original one, or you can say whenever they have fatha or dhamma. So yeah, their heaviness will be, affected with the sign of kasra. Okay. So now let's move on. Our third vowel sign, that is dhamma. Okay, dhamma. How is dhamma? Dhamma is a loop mark above the letter. How you will recognize this sign? This is called dhamma. Dhamma is a loop mark above the letter. Okay, and how you will pronounce this sign, like u, bu, tu. You can see that they have wrote. You can find that the sound would be like U with round lips. It is a short vowel, so do not stretch it and don't make a jumpy sound. Just round your lips and make a clear U sound with every letter. Okay, so dhamma is a loop mark, you can say. And how you will pronounce this letter, you can, you can recognize these letters very easily. It's a loop mark, or you can see a small circle there, right? So whenever you will see the sound, then your lips should come in, in round shape, right? Your lips will make a circle, or you can say it would give you a circular sound, right? So circular shape, right? So how we will pronounce these letters? Hamza, dhamma, u, ba, dhamma, bu, right? Let's revise the makharaj of these letters too, like the sound, pronunciation of these letters too, while practicing the dhamma. So ba is just like a board with a dot at the bottom, and we are saying boo, boo. Okay, so don't make it, don't stretch these sounds. Like it's not like boo, to, no, it would be boo, short vowel sound. Okay, boo, to, right? Say you, Y-O-U, you are, like we are saying, right? So there is a U sound at the end while you are pronouncing you, right? So Dhamma has a U sound at the end. So ba, Dhamma, bu. Then let's see, let's revise again. Ta. Ta is just like a board, but it has two dots at the top, top above the letter, you can say. So ta, Dhamma, tu, tu. Now the next letter is board. With three dots at the top. So we know this is tha. It is a tongue letter, soft letter. Your tip of the tongue touches your edges of your front two teeth, and you have to pronounce this letter very softly. There would be no buzzing or whistling sound. Okay. So thu, thu. Take out your tongue. Your tip of the tongue will touch the edges of your front two teeth, and then you will pronounce tha, dhamma, thu. Now, jug sound, like a Jim, a straight line with a C and a dot in between. So, jug sound, right? So, Jim, dhamma, ju. Jim, dhamma, ju. Ha, ha, huh? Jalapeno sound, heart sound, right? So ha, dhamma, hu, ho. It's just like Gene, but it has a dot at the top, and it has a little snoring sound. And this is an awesome letter, so we have to make this ho sound heavy. So ho, dhamma, hu, ho, dhamma, hu. Then dal, mouth of a Pac-Man, right? Da, dal, dhamma, du. Then dal, dhamma, du, mouth of a Pac-Man. And it has a dot at the top, or you can say a dot at, above the letters. So it is a soft letter. Do you remember? We can say that it belongs to the family of the. So that would be a light letter, or you can say soft letter. There would be no whistling sound, no what can I say, whistling sound here. And yeah, so the soft letter, your tip of the tongue touches the front edges of your front two teeth, and you will pronounce the, thu. Ra, dhamma, ru, R sound. Ra, dhamma, ru. Now ra, and it has a dot at above. So at the top of the letters, and it has a buzzing sound, right? Honeybee sound. Za, dhamma, zu. Za, dhamma, zu. Then seen, dhamma, su. So seen has a sharp whistling sound. Seen, dhamma, su. So, right? Sorry, seen. Then next letter is sheen, SH sound. Sheen, dhamma, shu. Sheen, dhamma, shu. Make sure your lips are in circular form, or you can say that your lips are making round lips. So, sheen, dhamma, shu. Then slod, hammer, saw, right? Nail, hammer, saw, right? So like SAW, saw. So slod, dhamma, su. Slod, dhamma, su. And it is an awesome letter, so you have to make it heavy what would be the position of your tongue? So your back of your tongue keep elevated. You have to keep your back of your tongue elevated, and you have to make this letter heavy. So Sod, Dhamma, Su. Dod, Dhamma, Bu. To, Dhamma, Tu. Dho, Dhamma, Bu. Ain, Ain, Dhamma, U. Ghain, Dhamma, Gu. Fa, Dhamma, Fu. Qaf, Dhamma, U. Kaf, and then Qaf is an awesome letter, so we are pronouncing it heavily. Qaf. Qaf, Dhamma, Q, but Kaf is a light letter. Ka sound, ki, right? Candle, ka candle. So Kaf, Dhamma, Ku. Lam, Dhamma, Lu. Mim, Dhamma, Mu. Noon, Dhamma, Nu. Oh. Noon, Dhamma, Nu. Wow. Wow, Dhamma, Wu. Ha, Dhamma, Hu. Hamza, Dhamma, U. Ya, Dhamma, You. Okay, so now we will pronounce these letters without, just making the sound of these letters. Okay, so U, Bu, Tu, Thu, Ju, Hu, Hu, Du, Lu, Ru, Zu, Su, Shu, Su, Bu, Tu, Lu, Ru, Ru, Fu, Ku, Ku, Lu, Mu, Nu, Wu, Hu, U, You. Okay, so now we have to practice it. Anyone wants to try, so you can just read the sounds of these letters. Okay, so again, let me revise one more time. Dhamma is a loop mark, right? Whenever you will sign the Dhamma sign on any letter, so you have to make your lips in a circular form, and it has a sound like U at the end. And there are 7 letters which we have to pronounce heavily, like Ho, this is awesome letter, Ho, So, Do, To, Do, Ghain, and Qaf. Okay, so while pronouncing these letters, you have to make these letters heavy. And yeah, it's like simple, huh? And it has U sound at the end. So you have to remember these points. Okay, so Haja, do you want to try one time? Just the sound of these letters only.
This will be a good revision for me. I will just pronounce the sounds, inshallah.
Yeah.
The first one is U.
Mm-hmm.
It's a short sound, right? Bu.
U.
U.
Mm-hmm.
U. Tu.
Okay.
Su.
Su, soft. Su.
Sa. Su.
Mm.
Ju. Hu.
Mm-hmm.
Hu.
Hu, little snoring sound, scratching.
Hu.
Mm.
Du.
Mm.
Zu.
Mm.
Ru.
Good.
Zu.
Mm.
Su.
Mashallah.
Shu.
Mm.
Su.
Mm.
Du. Tu. Does my tu sound like the same as the letter ta?
Yeah, but you have to make it heavy. So yeah, you are trying to make it heavy. That's better.
Tu.
Or you can say this one again, the
Ta, tu.
tu, right? Tu, and then this one.
Tu,
Good. So tu and tu. So by pronouncing ta, you have to make your back of your tongue elevated. Your back of the tongue remains elevated, then you can easily differentiate the sound of these two letters.
mhm. I will try this, the awesome letter one more time.
Mhm.
Tu,
Very good. Mhm.
zu,
Good job.
u,
Mhm.
ru,
Mhm.
fu,
Mhm.
pu,
Mhm.
ku.
Yeah, so now ku, ku. Ku, this is qaf, this one is heavy. It's an asam letter, but kaf is like candle. And make sure that whenever you will pronouncing the letter kaf, so your tongue will remain relaxed at the bottom. So no elevation while pronouncing kaf, okay? Ku, 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 ku.
Ku, ku.
Good job, mashallah.
Lu,
Hmm.
mu,
Hmm.
nu, wu,
Woo, quickly.
wu, wu,
Who,
wu,
who,
wu,
like who are you, right? So who,
wu,
hmm,
u,
hmm.
you.
Good job, mashallah. Jazakallahu khairan.
Walaikum.
So now move on with the practice of these signs. So we can say that we can see that in these, practicing words, we can find all the all the signs here, right? So first letter is Jim. It has a sign of Dhamma. So you know that while pronouncing this Jim, you have to add U sound at the end. So you, okay? And whenever you will see this circular sign, so again, you can make your lips in a circular position, okay? So it will remind you that you have to make your lips in a circular form, right? So Jim, Dhamma, you, then Ain. So you can see there is an oblique line at the bottoms. That means this is a kasra. And you have to make I. Whenever you will see the kasra sign, so your lower lips will go down and you have to make, you can say a happy face. So Ain, kasra, I, and you have to add E sound at the end, okay? E or I sound at the end, like honey bee. So like this, I, ju, I, then la. Lam has fatha, so you have to open your mouth and make this sound short, not long, and then you will see lam, fatha, la. So ju'i la, ju'i la, ju'i la. Then kha. You know that kha is an awesome letter and it has a sign of dhamma. So whenever you will see this sign, so your lips will come in circular form, your lips will make a circular position, and then you will pronounce kha, dhamma, hu. Lam has kasra, so li. Then qaf has fatha, so qa. Li, qa. Li means there is a E sound at the end, and whenever you will see the fatha, the oblique line above the letters, then you know you have to add A sound at the end. Okay, so khuliqa, khuliqa. Then Dal. This is Dal, a mouth of a Pac-Man, but it has one dot at the top. So, and it is a soft letter. You know that. You can't say, you can't make any buzzing sound in this, right? You have to pronounce this letter softly. It is a tongue letter. Take out your tongue and then touch, your tongue will touch the edges of your front two teeth, and you have to pronounce this letter very softly. And when you see, oh, it has a sign of dhamma, so your lips will in a circular position. So dhu, dal dhamma, dhu. Then Oh, kaf has a kasra. So how you will pronounce the kasra? That you will make E sound. Ki, ka, kasra, ki, du, ki, ra. Okay, so here you have to make, it's an oblique sound above the letters. So we know that we have to make A sound here. So du, ki, ra, du, ki, ra. Then su, sin, dhamma, su. So you see there is a scene, it's a hooks like, and then there is a dhamma. So when I see the dhamma, then my lips will go in a circular position and I will say su. There is a kasra, so I have to add e, su, e. Hamza's kasra, e. And there is a dhamma, so I have to add a sound. So lam, fatha, la, su'ila, su'ila, right? Next, move on, wa, dhamma. So make the circular shape in your with your lips. So wu, wa, dhamma, wu. And this is lam, okay? Don't confuse it with hamza, because whenever you will find hamza should remain it should come at the beginning of the letter or at the end. Whenever there you will see the straight line in between two letters, so it can be a hamza, right? It would be a lam. So lam kasra li, wu li, mim fatha ma, wu li ma, mim, dhamma, mu. Now it has a boat, but you can see that it has a dot at the top. So we know that whenever you will find boat but dot at the bottom, that is ba. But whenever you will find a half boat shape, but it has a dot at the at top, so that means it is noon. So noon kasra ni, muni, ain fatha muni'a. Okay, so now lam, dhamma, lu, ain, kasra'i. Kasra means you have to add e. So lu'i, noon, fathana. Here we will add a sound. So lu'ina, lu'ina. Ha, dhamma, hu, dal, kasra, di, hudi. Ya, fatha, ya, hudiya. Wow, dhamma, wu, jim, kasra, ji, wuji, dal, fatha, da, wujida, sin, dhamma, su, qaf, kasra, qi, suqi, ta, fatha, ta, suqi, ta, suqi, ta. And you can see the difference between qaf and ta, as both are awesome letters, but you can see that whenever you are pronouncing qaf, although it is a heavy letter, or you can say an awesome letter, but it has a kasra so you can see that its heaviness is not like ta, right? As ta is also an awesome letter, a heavy letter, but you can see that as it has a fatha sign, so ta is pronounced, we are pronouncing ta as more heavily as compared to qaf, and it's a natural sound, right? We can't change it, because whenever you will find the kasra in any awesome letter, heavy letter, then its heaviness you can say the affected with this kasra sign, okay? So qaf, kasra, qi, ta, fatha, ta, suqi, ta, ain, dhamma, u, fa, kasra, fi, u, fi, ya, fatha, ya, u, fi, ya, ha, dhamma, hu, ha, dhamma, hu, shin, kasra, shi, hu, shi, ra, dhamma, ra, fatha, ra, hu, shi, ra, hu, shi, ra, ha, dhamma, hu, ba, dhamma, bu, hubu, kaf, kasra, ki, hubu, ki, sad, fatha, su, ha, fatha, hu, suhu, circular shape, suhu, fa, kasra, fi, suhu, fi, Hamza dhamma u, dal dhamma du, soft letter, tongue letter, du, noon, kasrani, uduni, ra.
Puspa, would you
Yeah.
please repeat the suhufu one more time? I heard
Yeah.
it as Quad Fatha, so that's why. Could you repeat it once again?
Okay. Sad dhamma su, ha dhamma hu, suhu, fa kasra fi, suhufi, suhufi. Okay.
Allahu Khair.
وإياك خير. را ضمة رو، با ضمة بو، عين ضمة عو، ربوع. همزة فتحة أ، عين كسرة عي، أعي، ضا ضمة ضو، أعيضو، ضا. It's an awesome letter and it is a soft letter, tongue letter. So أعيضو. تا فتحة تا، زا كسرة زي، تزي، را ضمة رو، تزيرو. يا فتحة يا، را كسرة ري، يري، تا ضمة ثو، يري ثو. يا فتحة يا، عين كسرة عي، يعي، دال ضمة دو، يعيدو، يعيدو. Okay, so inshallah you have to practice these words and bismillah. Okay, so Haja, is it possible that you could read few words here if I just pointed out and then you just pronounce these letters one more time?
Yes, sure, inshallah.
Okay, so read this first line first.
The first word is Ju'ila,
This one.
Dhukira,
Very good. What about this one?
Lu'ina,
Don't make it long, okay? It would make a short sound. Lu'ina,
Lu'ina,
lu'ina.
Lu'ina.
Your lips are not making the tight circle, okay? So lu.
Let me try again. Lu,
Very.
Lu'ina,
Good job. Yes, this one.
Suqita,
How many awesome letters you can see in this word?
In this word, there are two, Qaf and Ta.
And what we have to remember whenever we are pronouncing a heavy letter, an awesome letter with the sign of kasra.
Then it won't be that heavy, right?
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Very good. Jazakallahu khaira. And what is this?
Suhufi,
Good job, mashallah.
Rubu'u,
Very good.
Yarithu.
So while pronouncing tha, what you have to remember?
The upper incisors are touching the tongue, and then I have to again tighten my mouth, my lips, right? I think I can do that.
Tighten your lips, and this is a soft letter. There shouldn't be any whistling sound or buzzing sound while pronouncing tha. Okay.
I will try this once again. Yarithu.
Yarithu.
Fu.
While I can see a little, whistling sound while you are pronouncing letters. Okay. So try to take your tip of the tongue out and try to touch tip of the tongue with your edges of your front two teeth, right? So yarithu.
Fu. Yarithu.
Good job, mashallah. Tabarakallah fi. Jazakallahu khaira. Yeah, one more thing which sisters you have to remember while pronouncing the letter ra. I don't know, above or lower, I don't know. The page. Okay, no, yeah. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so whenever you were pronouncing these vowel sounds, so while pronouncing the letter Ra, you have to remember one more thing. Whenever Ra has a sign of Fatha, so you have Fatha and Dhamma. Or you can say whenever you will see any sign, any vowel sign above the Ra, right? Or you can say at top of the Ra. So remember that this Ra will pronounce heavily, okay? But whenever you will see the any sign at the bottom of the Ra, then this Ra will pronounce lightly. As I told you that there are 7 awesome letters, which and you know that awesome letters we have to pronounce these letters heavily always. These are not a conditional letters. These are heavy letters all the time. But there are few letters which are conditional awesome letters, or you can say conditionally heavy letters. Yeah, so Ra is one of them. And so you have to remember one thing: whenever you will see any sign at top of the Ra, then it would remain heavy. And when you will see the sign at the bottom of the Ra, then it remains light. Okay, as whenever you will put something at your head, or you will find your head heavy, right? So the Ra is just like there. Whenever Ra carrying any sign at the top of the Ra, then it remains heavy. But whenever you will see any sign at the bottom of the Ra, then Ra will pronounced lightly. Okay, so inshallah we will practice it more, and you will get the idea, and you will you can remember these signs inshallah ta'ala. So don't worry about these. Jazakumullahu khairan kathira. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this journey easy for both of us, for you and me, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us hidayah, and I can say that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to read the Quran as it's revealed, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all these journey easy for all of you. Jazakumullahu khairan kathira. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Yes, Hajar, you can take my